Hello and welcome. My name is Brian Caplen, editor of The Banker. We're just bringing out the January issue of The Banker, which is our 90th anniversary edition. I'm here with Philip Alexander, the senior editor of The Banker. And Philip, to celebrate our 90 years, you've written a history of 90 years of The Banker magazine. So what did you find out with your research?
Well, it's certainly fascinating looking back through the archives, going all the way back to 1926. Some things, of course, have changed a great deal. There was a lot of excitement in the 1920s at the first tally roll counting machine that helped them make sure the books added up at the end of the day in each bank branch. Obviously, today we have computers capable of processing trillions of transactions every day. But some things don't change.
But still a technological theme there, yeah.
Yes, and from the very beginning, technology definitely played a big part in the magazine. And then from the 1980s, there was actually a dedicated section entitled Banking Tomorrow, maybe.
Okay, technology is obviously something we still cover and take very, very seriously. But what about the impact of financial crises? Again, that's nothing new, is it?
No, absolutely. And of course, within 3 years of the magazine being launched, we had the Wall Street crash, which was the biggest financial crisis until 2008, perhaps, or even bigger. And there is this constant search throughout a series of smaller events as well, problems after the Second World War, devaluation of sterling in the 1960s, the breakdown of the Bretton Woods Agreement in the 1970s. There's always this search for, what is sound banking? How to run a bank, how to run it well, and how to run it in a sustainable fashion without causing those kind of crises.
Okay, and obviously one of the responses has always been new regulation. And you show in your article that banks have always been slightly resistant to it, haven't they? So if you go back to Glass-Steagall, or deposit insurance, there was a certain amount of reluctance to take these things on. Is that right?
That's right. And I mean, what we associate is obviously the pushback from banks in the 1990s to the separation between commercial banking and investment banking. And that's what the 1933 Glass-Steagall Act is sort of remembered for. In actual fact, at the time, the big fuss was about the creation of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which today, deposit insurance is seen as being a key part of the banking system. And financial stability. So it's interesting that ideas that at the time are controversial later on are taken very much as standard. And as you say, there always tends to be an immediate pushback on regulation, and it's only later that people digest it gradually and realize that actually this has generally been a good thing. In some cases, not in every case.
Okay, well, let's finish off by talking a little bit about the next 90 years, okay? And as well in the magazine, we have a whole range of articles on important themes around banking, contributions from very high-level people in the industry. And we have an article on social impact investing, which is clearly the use of finance to do social good. Do you think that will be a way in which bankers can redeem their image in the public eye?
I think it's very much, it's about the business case, if you like. In theory, banking, when it's done well, you find new customers, you have to grow the business, but you do it in a way that works, that helps them, that helps lift them out of poverty or give them opportunities to set up a new business, to own their own home, etc. But it's always that fine balance between finding new customers and at the same time leaving customers over indebted, which in one form or another has been at the root of every financial crisis. So that's really the key, is finding, helping the financial sector to grow, but in a way that doesn't leave customers at risk.
Okay, thank you very much, Philip. Obviously there's an issue coming out January the 1st to celebrate our 90th anniversary with a wide range of articles on all the key themes of banking in the 21st century.